Hey there, it's the Yogi Momo. Today we're talking all about balance and tree pose. If tree pose is something that you have been curious about or something that you want to begin to refine, or if you just need another tool to get more balance in your life, then stay tuned. Good things are coming your way. The deep harmony of balance is my most precious commodity, and I guard it fiercely. That in of itself is a beautiful quote, and it is a wonderful thing to aspire to have in our lives, but balance seems to be the most elusive thing to so many people. I get asked all the time, how do you find physical balance in a yoga practice? And what I tell people each and every time is that your physical practice of yoga, the physical way that you try to balance your body, is all deeply, deeply connected to the balance that you have in the other parts of your life. So I want you just to come to standing wherever you are, whether you're on a yoga mat, you're standing on your living room floor, whether you're outside like I am. I want you just to come and just stand before we start our time together. I want you to let your arms fall by your side. I want you to close your eyes. Just keep your chin slightly lifted. Let your shoulders just relax. And I want you to think to yourself, I am balanced. And if as you say those words, they're hard for you to utter, hard for you to believe, I want you over the next few minutes as we spend this time together focused on tree pose to listen to your body, to your mind, and to your spirit, and let it tell you the places where you need to restore the balance. We can work on the standing balances, we can stand on our mat, we can work on the physical piece of balance. But I want you to listen today and find the awareness to where else in your life you need to find the balance. Open up your eyes. We're focused today on tree pose. Tree pose is not all about the balance on one leg. It is about the balance that we find in both of our feet as we root down into the earth where we stand. It doesn't matter if you are indoors or outdoors. As you stand, wherever you are right now, I want you to feel every point of your foot, from the outer edges around the heel to the inner edges of your feet, your arches, the balls of your feet, all 5 of your toes on each of your feet. Just notice the places where you're touching the ground. See how it feels. See how connected you feel. See if you can begin to draw energy from where you're standing. That's where your balance begins. Because if we don't have balance with both of our feet firmly rooted on the ground, when the winds of life come, we will inevitably fall. We'll succumb to whatever the stress is. We'll give into whatever the pressure is. We'll allow our schedules to dictate every inch of our lives until we get to the point that we feel completely out of balance. So let's focus today on number 1, finding the physical balance, the connection with our breath, and then we can begin to find the awareness within us of the other places that we need to come to balance. And just like the quote said, we will then begin to protect it and guard it fiercely. So first, let's stand tall. And as you stand there, your eyes can be opened or closed. Your arms are hanging energetically by your side. Fingers are spread wide. Gaze is straight ahead. Find you a spot that you can look at. Make that your focal point for these next few moments. As we head toward tree pose over these next few minutes, I want you to find one spot. Focus your gaze, your drishti there, and don't let it waver. That's the spot you're always going to come back to. Let's inhale, lift the arms high, and as you do, tip the head back, take the gaze to the sky, to the ceiling above. Bring the hands together, and then exhale, open your mouth. Bring the hands down slowly. Inhale, reach the arms up. Gaze tips up to the sky. Exhale, out the mouth. Breathe out everything you need to release. Inhale, sweep the arms up once more. Hands meet at the top. Exhale, bring the hands down. Before we can find balance, we got to let go of the stress. Let's spend the next couple of rounds of breath doing that. Inhale, arms lift. And as you exhale, I want you to hinge from your hips. Bring your hands toward the earth. Whether they touch or not does not matter. Just let them dangle. As the hands dangle, begin to reach them toward opposite elbows. As you grab your opposite elbows, the upper body is hanging. The crown of your head is opening up to the earth. Circulation is getting restored to where it needs to be. Clarity in your mind. And the crown of your head opening up, letting the stress, the tension you've been holding on to, letting it go. You can have a bend in your knees. The legs can be straight. It's your choice. But with every exhale, keep folding a little deeper. Feet are still rooted down. Arms are relaxed. Belly is soft. You are breathing. Begin to release those elbows. Put a bigger bend in your knees from whatever you've already got. And as you inhale, let's sweep the arms slowly up. Head's the last thing to rise. Hands meet at the top. Bring the hands together. Exhale, pull them down. Hopefully feeling a little more clarity in the mind, a little softness inside of our spirit. All right, let's begin to think about rooting down in both legs. Gaze is straight ahead. And as you root down, begin to shift your focus. Find that gaze, that spot where you're going to look at, and bring the weight into the left foot and begin to bend the right knee. So the right heel just comes off of your mat, off of your floor, wherever you are. Stand here. Foot is still on the ground. You're on the toes. Now turn the knee out. So we're going to open up that right hip. The knee is coming out, but the toes are still on the ground. Arms are by the side. Breathe. The amount of tension and stress that we hold in our hips, in those lymph nodes that surround that huge joint, the biggest joint in our body. All of our stress tends to settle right there. People think they have tight hips because of a physical thing. We have tight hips because we hold our stress there. Stand here in mountain pose with your knee open to the side, beginning to ease our way into opening that hip. And now bring it forward, put the heel back on the earth. As both feet are balanced, begin to shift the weight to the right, peel that left heel off. You're on the ball of the left foot. Find that focal point, and then turn the knee out. So you're on the ball of the foot. We're not lifting a foot up. Think about the upper body. The shoulders are back, the chest is lifted, spine is long. Lungs are inflating with air every time you breathe in. Everything is relaxing every time you breathe out. Left hip opening up. Bring the knee back to center. Plant the heel back on the mat. Stand tall. Let's add a little bit to it. Root into the left. Begin to lift that right heel and lift the right ball of the foot as well. Toes come off the ground. If the big toe needs to touch, put it back down. But if not, just let it hover. So the knee is just slightly bent, arms are alongside you. Maybe you bring them to your hips. You've got to figure out with the arms what gives you better balance. Your arms are secondary right here. This is all about the lower body rooting down, allowing you to feel connected to the earth. One more breath, inhale. Then as you exhale, put that right foot back down. Gaze is still in that focal point right ahead of you. Root into that right leg, lift the left heel, ball of the left foot, toes gently lift. Hover right here and hold. Trust the right leg. That right glute is active all down that right leg. You're staring at that focal point. You are breathing. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, lower the left. Settle back in here. We're going to lift the knee a little higher this time, and we're going to open that hip back up. So we're going to root into the left leg, but first, find the balance with both feet. Stare straight ahead. Find that spot, your drishti, your gaze. Lift the left or the right knee. Try to flex the right foot. If it's too much, just let the foot just hang, but if you can, flex it. Find that energetic field in the sole of your foot and take the right hand, hold on to the right knee. Left hand can stay out. It can also come under your hip. If at any point in this time you fall out of this spot, then you come back, you stand tall, and you come back to it. Let's open it up. Keep the gaze straight ahead. Your hip's going to tell you how far you can open. Once the body tells us the message, that's where we stop and where we hold. Stand and breathe. At any point you fall out of this, re-root into both feet, re-lift the right, and try again. We are on a journey. We are not trying to get to a destination. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the knee to center. Lower it back down. Arms alongside you. Both feet flat. Root into the right. We're going to lift the left. Left knee comes up. Try to flex the left foot. Take the left hand. Hold the knee. Again, right hand is out or it's on the hip. Stay here, or if you can, let's open up the hip. Find a spot to look at. Remember, it's right ahead of you. Keep your gaze there. Don't look at me. Look at that spot. Breathe. Let your left hip talk to you. Give your left hip permission to release the tension. Inhale. Exhale, bring the knee forward and lower it back down. All right, we are ready for tree pose. Tree is not about where you plant the foot and how high you lift it and what your arms do. Tree is about rooting down. Remember that quote from the beginning, I'm going to find my balance and then I'm going to protect it fiercely. Because the number one thing that trees tell us is that when we root down and we stand tall, when the winds of life come, we will be able to bend and not break. And isn't that what we all want in our lives? Not just in your yoga practice, but in your everyday life as well. So stand tall. This first round, we're going to ease into it. Round 2, we'll try a few things and give you some ways to extend or some ways to find your spot and then just stay there. Here we go. Root into the left. Take that right heel off. Turn the right knee out, just like we did earlier. Now you've got some options. You can begin to leave it here. Maybe this is where your tree starts off right now. This is a great place to be because we're focused on opening the right hip. But maybe you take the ball of that right foot and you put it on the ankle and you stand. Maybe you pull it up the shin and you stay right here. That right knee is just opening up. Right hip is releasing the tension. Arms are alongside you. Maybe they come to prayer. It's as high as we're going with our foot today. We are really focused on the standing leg. Pulling that bent leg up higher and higher is not about mastery. If that is what you're looking for, then we need to work on leaving our ego outside of this place, wherever you are right now. Your yoga practice is about body awareness. It's about heart awareness. It's about mind awareness. It's not about mastering and doing tricks and acrobatics. It is so much more than that. One more breath. And as you exhale, release that right foot back down. Reroot yourself with both feet. Let's try the other side. Here we go. Take that left heel, peel it off, and turn the left knee out. Again, the hip's going to tell you how far. Leave it here. Or put the foot on the right ankle. Or take it to the right shin. Hands can stay out, then come to your hips. They can come to prayer at heart center. The goal of the hands is to give you one more stabilizing factor within the physical body. Stare at that spot, whatever it is, your drishti, your gaze. Let it help you stay balanced. If you fall out, you just put the feet back down, you check the frustration at the door, and then you try again. And release. All right, the second round, I'm going to show you some options. Some of you are going to do exactly what you just did, and you're going to work on rooting into that standing leg. That's what I want you to do in tree pose. Root into the standing leg. The hip openers, all the other parts of the arms, those things will come. They may come tomorrow. They may come in 5 years. They may come somewhere in between. They will come if you stay consistent and you keep working on your balance. So stand tall right here in mountain pose, Tadasana. Peel the right heel off, turn the right knee out. Root into that left leg and decide where you're going to plant your foot. On the ankle, on the shin. You also have the option of putting it on your thigh. If that becomes too much, go back to the shin. Hands can go to the hips. They can come to prayer. You can also, if you're feeling it right here and you're good with the balance, grow your branches. Arms reach up as much as the crown of the head is reaching up to the sky. Even if there's a ceiling above you, you are still reaching up to the sky. Breathe. Keep your gaze focused. You've got this. One more breath. Exhale, lower those arms from wherever they are and lower the right foot. Reset your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Stand tall. Root into the right. Peel that left heel out, turn that left knee out. Decide where you're going to put the foot. On the ankle, on the shin. You also have the option of on the thigh. But I know that the balance in my one leg is not nearly as strong as the other, so I'm going to leave my foot a little bit lower this time. I'm still opening up that hip. It's just as powerful. Lymph nodes, tension, joint, fascia, all the good things happening as that hip opens. Arms out, on the hips, prayer, or overhead. Stand tall, smile, breathe. The same way that trees breathe and give us the oxygen that we need, you breathe, take it in, and then you exhale, let go of whatever you don't need. Continue to breathe. One more. Exhale, hands release from wherever they are. plant the foot, and come back down. We're going to do one more round. I'm going to show you some options for your arms, because what I want you to think about is not only the way that your lower body is rooting down, but right here at the base of your spine, you have something called your root chakra. That is one of those subtle energy spots. And what your root chakra does is whenever we stand in poses and we root down from the lower body and when our crown of our head reaches up, what our root chakra does is it sends messages, energetic, subtle messages to our body, to our mind, and to our spirit that says, I'm grounded, I'm stable, I'm safe. So once we get into this pose, this last round, I'm going to share those words with you. I want you to help them become your truth. Maybe you repeat them out loud, or maybe you repeat them in your head. Here we go. Root into the left, bend the right knee, turn it out. Decide where you're going to plant your foot. However high or low your body is telling you it can do today. Add the arms wherever you're able. But if you're ready for an extra challenge, maybe you stay where you are and you just watch us. So I'm going to take my hands behind my back. I'm going to grab opposite elbows. Remember whenever you were hanging forward and your opposite hands were grabbing elbows? That's exactly what you're doing. So as you're standing there, let me turn around and show you what this looks like from the back side. Once you're standing, the reason we do this is to keep our low back, our spine, our shoulders, everything in the back part of our body engaged, long, active. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms, lower the foot. Let's come back down. We got one side to go, and then we're going to be done for the day. Stand tall. Root into the right, peel the left heel off, turn that left knee out, open that hip. Let's plant your foot. Remember, you've got the choices, ankle, shin, or thigh. Add the hands, wherever you want them. First we stabilize. And then if you are able, stay here, breathe, root, or take the hands behind the back, grab opposite elbows. So your forearms are basically resting on your low back. You're rooting into that right foot, your shoulders are back, you're staring straight ahead. Tree. I am balanced. I am rooted. I'm stable. I am safe. I am balanced. I am rooted. I'm stable. And I am safe. Inhale. Exhale, release those arms, release the left foot. Stand tall. Let's take one more breath together. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands meet at the top. Open your mouth. Exhale, draw them down. Close your eyes as your hands pass your face. Allow your thumbs to rest at heart center. Tell yourself, I am balanced. I am stable. I am rooted. I am safe. Namaste.